Good day everyone and welcome. Today I have a fun one. Today we are going to rank all 12 Armaf Club de Nuit fragrances, or at least the 12 that I own. I have 8 Club de Nuit fragrances marketed for men and I have 4 that are marketed for women. Being that the last time I checked I am not a woman, I think it's unfair to rank the women's along with the men's. So we're going to start by ranking the men's Club de Nuit fragrances and then we'll rank the women's. I know you cannot see what I'm pointing at from there. They're right here. The Club de Nuit line gets a lot of flack for being synthetic and so forth. But honestly, I think they smell really good, especially as they start to dry down, and for the price, they're great value. There's a few of these fragrances that are among the most complimented fragrances I own. So I'm excited to share with you my thoughts. Stick around, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button. Please click the bell, do everything you need to do so you don't miss any future related fragrance content here on my channel. So today we're gonna start with the men's line. We're gonna start with my least favorite in the line, and that's Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man EDP. I have 4 Club de Nuit Intense Man fragrances. They are all inspired by the King Creed Aventus. And the EDP is my least favorite in the line. In order to talk about the EDP's strengths and weaknesses, we gotta talk about the EDT first, and that's probably my second least favorite in the line. Though I love both of these fragrances, I wear both of these fragrances often. In fact, my EDT is all but out. I have probably 10 sprays left of this. But in order to talk about the strengths of the EDP, I have to talk about the weaknesses of the EDT. The EDT has this strong, synthetic, harsh lemon opening. A lemon note, which matter of fact, is not in Creed Aventus, but it's in the EDT, and that's what drives most people away from the Intense Man line. The EDP fixes that. Now it still has a lemon note, but those rough edges have been smoothed. It's a lot less harsh of an opening. And like the EDT, the dry down is great. My problem with the EDP is it's the worst performer in the lot. Despite having more fragrance oil than the EDT, it doesn't project as far or last as long as the EDT or anything else in the line. Now you do get a lot of bang for your buck. You get the 200 ml bottle for roughly twice the price of the EDT. I want to say the 200 ml bottle goes for around $50 at discounters. So for the price, that's a good price. But that said, it is my least favorite in the line, and my second least favorite in the line is the EDT. So I guess the EDT would be ranked number 11th, and for that reason, the harsh synthetic lemon opening, which I've already described, but I will say the dry down of this stuff is magic. The dry down is so good. I've gotten more compliments in hours 3 through 5 of wearing this fragrance than any other fragrance in my collection. It just works, and if you can stomach the first 30 minutes of the wear, it makes it worth your while. And considering this runs around $27 from discounters, it's unbelievable value if you can handle the opening. A lot of you can't, and I understand that, but for me, it's one that I will always love. Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man, number 11. Number 10 would have to be Armaf Club de Nuit Iconic. This is one of their newer ones, and this is a clone of Bleu de Chanel. As a Bleu de Chanel clone that runs, roughly $40, I think it's a pretty decent clone. I think it's worth the $40 that discounters charge for it. I just don't wear it very often. Like most everything else in the line, this too has a little bit of a synthetic opening. And for some reason on my skin, it bothers me more with this than it does the Intense Man line. It's not any stronger of an opening than the Intense Man line, it just bothers me more, and that just might be a me thing. So for that reason, it's number 10, but it is a pretty darn good clone of Bleu de Chanel. I just realized I got my rankings wrong. I have 8 in my men's collection. Therefore, the EDP is number 8, the EDT is number 7, and number 6 is Iconic. All right, my 5th favorite Armaf Club de Nuit fragrance is Sillage. This from discounters goes for around $27, and for that price, again, mind blown. This is such a great fragrance, and the performance is through the roof. I'm not sure if I have a fresh fragrance that performs like this one. Besides Mega Mare and those type of fragrances, this is the most beast mode fresh fragrance I own. It projects past arm's length and it lasts hours. This is a much stronger fragrance than current batches of Creed Silver Mountain Water. In the air, I think this stuff smells so good, but the closer your nose gets to skin, the more synthetic it becomes. And again, that's kind of an underlying problem within the entire line. So if super synthetic fragrances bother you, this is not the line for you. If you're more a performance buff, if you prefer fragrances that perform over naturals, then this is your line, or at least a line you should try. And Sillage is certainly no exception. Again, it's very fresh, perfect for spring, summer, but also the performance is so good, you could rock this in the fall and winter, and it'll hold up in the cold very well. For $27, there is so much value. Armaf Club de Nuit Sillage. All right, my 4th favorite fragrance in the Armaf Club de Nuit line is Urban Man Elixer. It looks kind of like the Intense Man line, doesn't it? And I think there's a reason for that. This fragrance is 75% Dior Sauvage, roughly 25% Creed Aventus. So there's a little bit of that Intense Man DNA in this, roughly 25%. It's definitely more a Sauvage clone than it is a Creed Aventus clone, but I think it smells so good, and the opening is not near as synthetic as the Intense Man line. For as long as there's been Dior Sauvage, people have been layering it with Creed Aventus, or it's been mistaken for Creed Aventus. This fragrance kind of does that for you. It kind of layers the two together. From discounters, this goes for roughly $32, and it performs very well. And again, I think it smells really good, and it's not quite as synthetic as the Intense Man line. There's a lot going for this one, and that's why it's my fourth favorite. My third favorite has to be Club de Nuit Milestone. This is their take on Creed's Milestone Imperiale, if you couldn't tell by the bottle. Just like Sillage outperforms Silver Mountain Water, Milestone outperforms Creed's Milestone Imperiale. And again, it's not even close. It projects further and lasts much longer. In fact, I layer this with Milestone Imperiale. The two smell very good together. This too is a little bit more synthetic up front, but I don't find it quite as synthetic as Sillage. But in all honesty, I don't think it performs quite as well as Sillage either. This I would categorize as beast mode. I would not categorize this as beast mode, but I do like this scent a little bit better. It's a little bit more fun to wear. It's a fresh and fruity marine fragrance. It smells kind of like a salty watermelon. Perfect for spring, summer, works great in the office. It's just a really nice everyday wear. And again, it goes for under $30, so a lot of value. This is my third favorite. There are two more in the Intense Man line, and they are my second and first favorite Armaf Club de Nuit fragrance. My second favorite is Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition, making my first favorite Intense Man Parfum. These are both Parfum concentration, and to me, they smell nearly identical. There are subtle differences, but nothing that I think anybody can really pinpoint. The biggest difference I can find between the two is the price. The limited edition goes for around $65 from discounters. The Parfum goes for around $50 from discounters, and you get quite a bit more fragrance with the Parfum. Just like the EDP, the opening is much smoother with these fragrances, and these last much longer, and they project better. I'd put their performance on par with the EDT. They smell really good, they're compliment beasts, and just really good value. These two are my favorites: Intense Man Limited Edition, Intense Man Parfum. All right, let's wrap this thing up with my 4 Armaf Club de Nuit for women fragrance. These fragrances are marketed for women, though I find 2 of them at least pretty unisex. My least favorite out of the ones I own are Club de Nuit Intense. Not Intense Man, just Intense. And this one is pretty unisex. This is a rose oud fragrance in the style of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. This goes for around $20 at discounters, and for the price, I could suggest it all day long. The opening is a little bit synthetic to me, but it's not near as harsh as the Intense Man line. My biggest problem is it smells a little bit cheap at first, or at least to my nose. That, and I'm not a huge rose guy. I like oud and I like rose oud fragrances, but this is definitely more rose than an oud fragrance. It's kind of a warm, spicy thing. It's a pretty elegant fragrance. And again, the price is right. It's just not one that I reach for. My wife loves rose. She wears it, and it smells really good on her, but it's my least favorite out of these 4. My third favorite is Club de Nuit Woman. This also runs around $20 from discounters. This is a clone of Chanel's Mademoiselle. This is a lovely, fresh, everyday scent. It's a little bit sophisticated. It's a little bit mature, but I think this works for everything. It works for the office. It works for spring, summer, fall. It's not terribly synthetic. I think it smells really good. In fact, I begged my wife to wear this, and she's made quite a dent in it. For the price, there's a lot of value and very few negatives I've found. It smells really good. Club de Nuit Woman. The second best Club de Nuit fragrance marketed for women I find is Untold. This is one of their newest fragrances, and this is their take on BR540, and for a $40 dupe of BR540, I think it's amazing. This is one I can recommend all day long. It's ethereal. It smells a lot like BR540. When I first sprayed this, I got a little tinge of alcohol, which is something that cheaper clone fragrances are known for, right? But if you smell the real deal, the real BR540, you will also get a little tinge of alcohol. So it doesn't really have to do with the cheapness level, it's just how that fragrance is created. And for 35, 40 bucks, this stuff is outstanding. And last but not least, my favorite Club de Nuit fragrance for women is Imperiale. This is their take on Parfums de Marly de Lena. This stuff smells amazing from beginning to end. Now, I don't find this to be a 1-for-1 clone. In fact, I don't think it's quite as close as Untold is to BR540. This is very much a rose fragrance like Delena, but it seems like they really boosted the vanilla in this. So it's a little bit sweeter. That rose isn't quite as sour, isn't quite as tart as it is in Delena. My wife loves this. In fact, this is her second bottle this year. She ran through that first bottle. And as far as their dupes go, I think this is probably their best work to date. Well, that's it. Those are my thoughts on Armaf Club de Nuit. What are your thoughts? What is your favorite Club Club de Nuit fragrance? Let me know in the comments. And real quick, again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell. I'm Marshall Vicente. Come back and see me next time.